Hey guys, welcome to a new series of Cho'Gath matchup guides that I'm going to be making. Hopefully you guys can have as much success with the big boy as I am. Today we are doing SYLAS. I think it's quite a controversial matchup because if you're good, it can definitely be managed. But personally, I hate the feeling of SYLAS stealing my ult, so I normally ban it. I do think Cho late game outscales SYLAS because your silence messes with him so hard. So I think it's viable to not ban it and just play well. But if you know you want to play Cho, it's also a solid ban. It's just preference, I think. For runes, I think Hail of Blades is basically required in this matchup because if he jumps on you, you need to be able to trade back hard. And Grasp is kind of for slower and more consistent trades, which is just not really good for Cho'Gath in this matchup. For the rest, it's just standard stuff. Cheap Shot is good damage all game. Grizzly Mementos for more trinkets. Ultimate Hunter for more ults. Axiom Arcanist is core for ult damage. I personally would go Celerity, but Scorch can also make your early game a bit easier. I think 2x Adaptive Force because you need the trading power in this lane. And then Flat or Scaling HP are both fine. For summoners, I think low-key Ignite is actually the best. It means if he E's you at half health or less, you can actually just one-shot him pre-6. And after 6, from like 75%. The only issue with this is that the lane snowballs really hard, so having TP is also nice for a more consistent lane phase. Basically, I'd recommend Ignite if you're comfortable on Cho, but if you're not, then TP is fine. In early laning, I always go D-Ring. I think E level 1 is way better in this matchup, and you should look to just walk up and start hitting minions. If he tries to trade on you, you just take the trade. You should always win it with 3 Hail of Blades E autos. Getting level 2 first is really important because you want an HP and level advantage in this lane. You have much better sustain with your passive, so pushing every single wave means you're constantly healing up while also being a higher level, and he just slowly gets whittled down. And his only way to sustain is by Wing you. But if you have a higher health bar than him, then he can't turn the W into an all-in, and then you actually just trade back harder than him. After level 6, it can get really hard. The problem isn't the 1v1, it's more that it's hard to gank SYLAS' Cho, and it's really easy for him to gank you. That's why I think Qmax and just roam and interact with him as little as possible is kind of the best and most consistent way to play it. But if you want to win lane, you can 1v1 if you either rush Oblivion Orb or Negatron Cloak and max W. Then you can slowly poke him, whereas Q is so unreliable to hit because he just can dodge it with his E. That said, if you do want to hit it, I always recommend standing in the bushes. It makes it way harder to dodge, even with the SYLAS E. With your ult, you generally don't have the damage to kill SYLAS after first base unless you just sent it with the Oblivion Orb. So personally, I just start stacking ults ASAP on minions and grubs. Getting boots and roaming is amazing, but obviously it depends if you get a room timer. Collecting waves on the turret and just farming is also totally fine. If you have a jungler that can set up for your Q, then I would try and hold ult to gank the SYLAS. But a lot of junglers you can't gank SYLAS with, it's too easy for him to escape, and then I just spam my ult to get the stacks ASAP. If you're ahead, you can start cheerleading SYLAS in bushes later on, because he needs to use his spells to clear the wave. After he full combos a wave, especially using E, you can often kill him or hard chunk him. And yeah, overall, just look to play team fights, because your CC completely shuts him down. In side lane, you're really vulnerable because you can't run away if there's more than one member, and it's also hard to chase him down. So it's just a better situation for you to just play in a group setting. For items, it's the standard Hail of Blades move speed Shredder's build. I'm putting the graphic on the screen now, but it's also linked in the description. I think it's fully viable to go an early Negatron and just sit on it so you're less vulnerable after the first base. But to be honest, I'd only do that if I died early and was behind. If I'm even or ahead, I'd just get Shirley's ASAP like normal. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments, and the most liked comment will be the champion I do next. Peace.